Hello, today we're playing Stillwater. Stillwater? I thought it was Stillwater. Anyway, it's about this detective that meets a young person. I don't know. I didn't really read a lot about it, but it just looked interesting, and I wanted to play it, see how it was. Anyway. That says a lot. Stillwater. Anyway, oh. Okay. This is a work of fiction. The resemblance to any real-life people is purely coincidental. This game contains depictions of horror, mature themes, violence, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, look at this art. How long does this take? Okay, caretaker. I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nina. I feel like I'm going crazy. Calm down. If we can just talk it out. How many strange things can happen after another? Every day there's this dang dripping sound. I thought it was just something leaking at first, but I check every faucet, every ceiling, every pipeline, and still I hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Oh, but the water! I find random pools of water just appearing out of nowhere, just like the dripping. Maybe you're just blind and can't see the dripping, you know? But it's at night. It's at night when it comes. Okay. I don't know if it's my paranoia, but I swear I could hear footsteps walking along the hallways, walking on pools of water. They talk, they walk, and they walk, upstairs and downstairs. Oh my gosh. You're probably just going crazy because you're going like upstairs and downstairs, upstairs and no. And it goes on and on and on and on and on like that. But somehow it does come to an end. And it ends. All in front of your grandfather's room. Ooh. What happened to the grandfather? I know that's a lot. I know this is a lot, but you have to believe me. No matter how many times I clean, it just won't end. Oh my gosh. Drama queen. I can't stay here any longer. I'm sorry, Nina. It's okay. I understand. No, I don't. We just hired a crazy caretaker. Thank you for taking care of my grandfather. Nina, please listen to me. I don't know what's happening around here, but the woman on the phone cautiously looks around before speaking again in a hushed tone. Alright, sure. Oh my, what? Okay, the grandfather's crazy. Okay. Something terrible is lurking around this house. I can't like talk loud and whisper, so I don't know. I don't know what it is, but please, as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and leave this place. Oh my gosh. I can't just leave. This is my home. Please, Nina. This place, it's not safe. I don't know what you saw, but I can't just leave things like this. Alright? Hire a detective. Detective. Oh my gosh. It's my home. Okay? Dinner at 7 a.m. Diner at 7. Oh my gosh. Amid and foggy morning, there it sits, a man in the corner of the booth. He drinks black coffee and, depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. And today it was just black coffee. Okay, the guy is just sad and tired. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I swear I've never seen that amount of paperwork in my life. I'm a freaking mountain worth of it. What? You are a valuable member of the team, Hugo. My foot. I'm starting to believe that I was bamboozled into joining their agency. Hugo Laurent, age 30, takes a good look at his cup of joe and chugs it all in one sitting. Okay. He then continues to grumble to himself about last night's grueling work of office. I really need to find a different job. But you're good at your work, man. Listen to what they say. You're the greatest person on the job. Blah blah blah. As he contemplates his poor life choices, he looks out towards the early mist. There was something inherently terrifying about the fog and him. How it engulfs everything and nothing. I'm sorry, I'm just reading very fast for some reason, so I'm just like tripping on my words. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces. Proof of it remaining, okay? Even in a quaint little town like this, I can't even run from a fate, I guess. Wow. Okay. Messy match? There's even a coffee stick. Oh my gosh. Hugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clippings and didn't finish reading. Okay. Some of them from recent events, but mainly all were past headlines of missing persons cases. Fixating case after case, he can't help but remind himself that there is a reason for all this. It's all too personal reason. Seeing strange things come with a price. In the end, I'm the only one doing this for myself. Sounds rough. Mind if I join? An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He slowly looks up to see the one responsible, although reluctantly. Who's this? Good morning, Hugo. Hugo scolds and turns away from him. He then gathers his files and shoves it back to his binder. Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite side end of the booth. He then greets the waitress passing by the orders himself. Hefty body breakfast special with an extra plate. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to relay his order. The man then looks back at Hugo. He sees an empty cup and the now jumbled newspaper clippings, all while Hugo is trying to ignore him. You really should eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today. Huh? I'm fine, Noah. I'm just not in the mood today. Not even a little? I don't like this guy. I don't know. I like Hugo more. There is a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Well, too bad for you. I ordered a big breakfast for the two of us. Two? Oh my. As the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. What did you order for two of us? Just eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Wow, this looks delicious, right, Hugo? Are you even listening to me? Come on, we both know that if you don't eat it now, who knows when you will, and I'm not about to let you faint again. So open wide. Noah D. Leon, age 27, a natural-born charmer. It's just as equally persuasive as he is threatening. With a pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats the gorgeous spoonful without further complaints. It's good. Right? Good food. Will always help you cheer up. Dang him, I got swept away again. Oh, by the way, the chef will be out for a business trip. She mentioned it will be for a couple of days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear you say anything about it. Yesterday, I think? Yesterday, she told me to sort out the cabinets yesterday. She didn't even mention anything about business trip. I guess it was pretty sudden one, huh? Well, I mean, she didn't tell me to tell you. And look at me, I know where you go every morning. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. Well, what do you want to do? You technically have the day off. I'm gonna head back to the office. There's a couple boxes I didn't get a chance to sort out. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You could just rest here for the day and pass up an opportunity to get to know you better? Could it? After the enlightening banter, we both bantered. The two of them finished their breakfast, pay for their meals, and head to Hugo's car. As Noah opens the door to the passenger seat, he notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. Aww. The big dog stares at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. Oh, I'm sorry, big guy. He then closes the door while trying not to make too much noise to disturb the occupant. Colby? Aw, my goodness. As the sound of the name, he heavily lit his eyes open, shows Cheeky to slowly peek. Where did I see Cheeky? At the sound of his name, he heavily lidded eyes slowly peek out to see who calls for him. It is his one only partner, his human. As if he finally realizes who he is or where he is, the old bloodhound stares up in his sleep, pounces on Hugo, and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Bark. Wow. Ah. Oh man, that's adorable. Ah. Good morning again, Colby. Had a nice nap? Colby, 8 years old. Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime, and the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Noah, who is witnessing all of this from the backseat, chuckles to himself. He is amazed and slightly defeated by Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Wow. It doesn't matter how many times I try. When it comes to boosting up his mood, the only one who can beat Colby. No one can beat Colby. Agency, 750. Ooh, nice office. Good coffee. The three head back to the office, the space just the same as Hugo left. The distant, organized mess. To his credit, for a moment, the boxes are painstakingly went through. He believes he did a fair job. Albert could have been better. Wow, you really outdid yourself, Hugo. It looks less crowded. Ah, shut it, will you? I said I was gonna do it. Do it? Thanks, boy. Ah. Before Hugo could continue to give his deserved head pats, he notices someone. A woman stands timidly peering outside the storefront. The woman appears a bit frantic, disbelieved that and wearing ill-fitted clothes, she appears to be distracted about something. When she finally makes an eye contact with Hugo, she immediately rushes in. Who is this? I'm so sorry. I know that the clothes sign is up, but I saw you come in and Are you alright, miss? I need your help. My grandfather, you're Nina. Before she can continue, Noah swiftly intervenes. It's okay, we'll hear what you have to say. So please don't you take a seat. Wait, what? Noah gestures to one empty chair. The poor woman hesitates for a moment before heavily sighing in relief. She then walks towards the corner of the room and sits on a sofa. Can you start by telling us your name? Nina, I'm sorry for earlier. My name is Nina Mortimer. I need help watching over my grandfather tonight. Watching over your grandfather? Yes. I'm sorry, Miss Mortimer, but I don't quite understand. Is he in danger? I'm afraid he is. So, okay. Miss Mortimer, if that is the case, wouldn't contacting the police better? No, oh my gosh. No, you can't do that. I tried requesting their help, but they all gave me the same answer. There's nothing I can do about it. If only I knew who Lewis was. Lewis? Nina fidgets at the name. She looks to the side before reaching out from her bag with an antique letter. Unique Okay. My grandfather, he received a cryptic message the other day and didn't come with an address or a name to the sender. However, the only thing I could pick up was the last name. As she hands over the letter, Hugo notices her hands slightly shaking. Whatever lies in this note must have shaken her battery. Delicately, Hugo removes the contact envelope and unfolds it. At first glance, it seems like a normal written message. A person named Louis asking the other, Henry, to come meet him by the lake at midnight. At midnight? You really gonna meet someone at midnight? That's, like, dumb. Needing to share something important with him. Why not over a cup of coffee? At broad daylight, where everyone can see you. However, that's early checking about the letters, not the message itself. Rather, at the bottom of the page, a sentence far more disturbing is written. I'm coming for you, Henry. Were there any others like this? Yes, a few of them. I thought it was a sick joke at first, but this one's different. Up until now, I've never heard of anyone by that name. Not a relative or family friend or something, but they clearly know my grandfather is. If I don't do something about this, I'll lose him too. Just by uttering the words alone, Nita breaks down. Hiding away her tear-streaked face, she begins to quietly sob herself. As active comfort, Colby sits closely to Nana while Noah fetches for tissues for her. Hugo, on the other hand, is puzzled. Okay. This is very well could have been a prank, but this seems certain. Certain that whoever or whatever those Lewis is, they're coming. Okay. Do you want more tissues? I'll do it. I'll take on your case. For a moment, silence fills the room. Only stares are directed at Hugo until Nana finally stands up and walks towards him. You'll take it? Hugo simply not. Simply? Thank you. I've been studying for this whole entire thing. God dang. Hey, you don't know how much of this means to me. We're glad this helps, Miss Nina. Nina's fine. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina slightly smiled at Hugo before reaching out to her. Nina slightly smiles at Hugo before reaching into her bag once more and taking out a note. This is my address. Okay, Church Street. I'll be sure to greet you once when you get there, detective. She politely bows once more before heading out to her car and drives back home. Who was speeding outside my window? Oh my. Once out of sight, Hugo turns and looks at his cluttered desk. Still messy but presentable. I guess I have to sort out these later again. Car, 5:30. Okay. From the outgoing downpour to the quiet hums of the car, they sit in silence. Still miles from the destination, Hugo constantly checks the rearview mirror. Noah, who usually chats his ear off by now, is completely still. He looks out the passing streetlights, reserved and distant. Hey, you're a lot quieter than usual. What's wrong? This is a surprise. Have you been looking at me, Hugo? No, you idiot. You just usually talk a lot. That's all. So you miss talking a lot. So you miss me talking a lot. Just say it. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet until she finished. But it's her last name that caught me off guard. Have you heard about the Mortimers? The Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family. Well, they used to be. What do you mean? They've been stuck in so many tragedies that over time people begin to believe that they're cursed or something. Every other year I would see a headline of a local news about some family member's deaths. And you know what's strange? All of them must have been labeled as victims. But no foul play, no nothing. Just another unfortunate event for the family. Maybe I understand why she wouldn't go to the police. She probably thought they'd perceive her as a paranoid or hysterical. Oh my gosh, I forgot the word. Or worse, crazy. Psychopath. I can't imagine all of this for Nina. And most of all, who knows what you'll find in there. Is that why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm more worried about you though. Think of it this way. I'm the appointed driver. When you decide to do some pretty reckless stuff, I'll be there to drive you to a local hospital. Besides, oh my gosh, 2 heads are better than 1. Exactly, I'm fine with Colby coming with me. Well, have you heard that 3 betters are better than 2? Oh, did I just say? Northeimer Estate, 6 p.m. More timer. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate reveals itself beyond the evergreen. Nestled and tucked away from prying eyes, it's still so... Why am I stuttering so much? Looming from a distance, Hugo and Nora could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor as they parked adjacently to Nana's car. I don't usually read like this. I usually read in my head. Yeah, maybe that's why. I barely read out loud, that's why. So I'm stuttering now. But I read better in my head. Wow, and you think she came all this way just to request us? It took us more than a couple of hours to get here. Maybe she really didn't have a choice. What do you mean? Come on, she's waiting for us. What? Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, a sharp sudden pain raised heavy on Hugo's chest. Gasping tightly on his coat, he begins to gasp for air. His gaze hazed and leads closed car. Okay. Oh my gosh! Is he good?
Is he gonna be okay?
Like a fish drawn from the sea, he desperately heaves. But the harbor's pales comparison to his pain far more extremely. Is it the house? No, something far more sinister. He feels it. Someone is watching him. A person gaze fixed on him, like leering at a bug and waiting to strike. I'll never forgive you. Did I do something to offend you? What the what? Dang it, already? I need to hurry or else, Hey, are you alright? Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his fixated trance. Noah nudges his head against Hugo, wanting and concerned over the partner's well-being. Did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice. It was so close to my ear. Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. Sure. I'm just a bit winded from all the trip, that's all. I'd be happy to make you a coffee at the very least. If it's no trouble. No, not at all. It's the least I could do. Once again, the suitable uneasiness from Nina's surface. But before Hugo could get a chance to look further into it, she walked off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? You sound like you were choking earlier. I don't know why I'm laughing. It said I'm fine. Besides, we're already here. I can't back out now. Listen to me. I think you should. Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short as he notices Nina stopping by the front door. She stands there silently and as if she's contemplating something. I know this may sound rude, but I think didn't get a chance to know your names. Wow. Well, you're pretty out of it when you walked in. Well, I'm sorry about that. No worries. I'm Detective Hugo Laurent. This is Assistant Colby. And the second one, Assistant Noah D. Leon. Okay. It seems surreal, just like a cartoon. Ha 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 ha. Ha. Nina meekly smiled before turning away from them. I haven't been quite honest with you, Detective Laurent. Just as before, as if carefully choosing her next words to decide what the situation words are not enough. You see for yourselves what I mean. And with that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo is about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug on his arm. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know right away. You'll be the first to know. And with that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. He receives ahead and not knowing what awaits him beyond the door. Oh, hey, the grandfather! There's this huge figure right in front of him in the movie. I mean, did I just say movie? I meant in the beginning. Reading with the brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes the interrogator is just as grand. Adorned with the floor at ancients, the incomplete, the unique. I'm gonna say it's unique. I know it's not unique, but I'm just saying it. And unique paintings. It exceeds an elegant charm found. Okay, I clicked that by accident. I clicked the spacebar by accident. Alright. However, Hugo notices something even more distinct than the splendor. The house is much more terrifying inside than out. Please come this way. Bracing themselves, they enter the dimly lit drawing room. At first glance, Hugo could not discern the still house situated at the far corner. However, on a closer inspection, he now understands the reason for all of Nina's unsettling bulges-ness. Grandfather, we have guests. Oh my, okay. Just to be clear, this does not look like grandfather at all. This looks like a teen boy. Just like a 9-year-old with green eyes. Sitting at the armchair, a young man. Excuse me? Oops, my bad. He is dressed in a white-colored down dress shirt, tucked in with black slacks and black penny loafers. Staring down at the window, a young man sits and dazed with little acknowledgement of people around him. Still, motionless, like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke with. This is Detective Laurent, and he has two assistants, Colby and Noah. They're going to be helping us. This is your grandfather? Where's the white hair? Even after introducing them, the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feel unnerved. The man before them is supposed to be frail and older than any of them, and yet he remains forever unchanging, forever young. That's supposed to mean something? Like why he has green eyes? They've come a long way, so I'll be making some coffee. Would you also like some, Grandpa? The young man still does not reply back, never glancing at Nana or anyone else in the room, only fixed on the rain. I'll be sure to make a cup for you, too. Then she timidly gestures to Hugo and Noah back in the foyer, bearing more questions to follow Nana inside. Oh my gosh. But before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There is an all too familiar air about him, Mortimer. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Whatever he must be longing for, Hugo knows it's not gonna end well. Nina, that man, Nina? Oh yeah, you're right. He does have green eyes, just like him. Yes, he's my grandfather, and the one I asked to watch over. I know this is hard to believe, but Nina draws something out of her pocket. What? This is a unique, antique picture of a young man who slicked back hair and wearing luxurious suit. Okay? He appears to be posed in a refined way. Yeah, that old 1800s pose that everyone did. A complete contrast to the current Henry Mortimer. This isn't much to go by, but I swear that he is the same person. Then why did he look so young? It happened a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of tea. Then I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. I was worried about that something fell over, so I went to go check. When I opened the door, I found him collapsed on the ground. I rushed over to help him. Oh my, okay, relax. You're just telling a story. I rushed over to help him, but when I did, he looked so different. And many things were rushing in my head, and yet I felt somewhat familiar to me, okay? He wore the same clothes as my grandpa wore that night. And his face, I recognized his face. He just looked younger. That was also the same night I found the letter next to him, already opened. I'm sorry again for all this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they're right. Hey, calm down. The pools of water, dripping sounds, and the letter, and now all this. Maybe my family is really cursed. They're not. Curses aren't real. Detective? I think we easily got too involved in believing sort of thing exists. In reality, no one is fixated on it, feeds off of it. Rumors, doubts, lies, all of those things are what they want to become real. Deep rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. But like a curse, these emotions drag other people down with them. Personally, I think you were caught up in all of this too. But I assure you, we'll see this through. For you and your grandfather. Thank you. Good. This man's a good man. A good man. Good job, I guess. Now for your first priority is to find out more about Louis. Nina, the letter you showed us back then is at the agency. Do you have it with you? Oh yes, it's here. Do you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll be sure to give it back. Of course. I'll check upstairs. Know where you and Kobe check the ground floor. Got it. Before they leave to go to their own investigations, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. He leans him close enough for Nina not to hear. Keep your eyes closed on Mr. Mortimer and Nina. Especially Nina. Okay? Alright. Okay. I'm counting on you. You too, boy. Haha. And with that, Hugo heads upstairs, studying his investigation. Mortimer Estate, 11:30 p.m. After searching vigorously throughout each of his rooms, he knew this findings would eventually lead him here. This is it. Hugo walks towards the nearest lampshade and opens it. Dimly illuminated, he sees the ancient of his now lavished his part of his houses. From the customized drapes to the vintage furniture, everything here exceeds that extravagance. But much like an interior Hugo has seen so far, he finds this one in particular reeks of it. Plastered from wall to wall, a sense of gloom lingers. It's as if the room felt moldering despite his perceived nature. I need to hurry. I don't want to stay here for too long. Mortimer Estate, 11:50. Alright. He searches and searches, still no sign of anything. Not one thing pertaining to Lewis. Oh my! Really? Nothing? It's as if he cleared out everything, just blank everywhere. No, it has to be here. It's just missing something. He pauses again once before remembering the letter. This is the only proof Lewis exists so far. I'll try to read it again. Maybe I overlooked it. As he takes out the letter from the envelope, he notices a change within. Bearing no forebodying threat at the bottom of the page, it looks just like a regular letter. What the? If you can't come, then I understand. It's pretty dearly after all. And if you can ask one last favor from you, could you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I like for you to have it. It'd be happy knowing with you. Thanks for everything, Henry. Forever yours, Lewis. What? This is the same Lewis? I thought he was the cause for all this. I don't understand. Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard across the bedroom, as if something unlocked itself. Hugo turns around and sees a foot of a chest. Oh, the foot of the bed, a chest. Unlike the other furniture, the dark, rustic features have not been maintained well, left to rot on its own. Preparing himself, he opens the chest. Inside, scrambled together, are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young man found dead by the lake? Ooh. Okay, who is it? Okay, an unidentified young man was found on the morning of XXXXX, 3 days prior to his death, according to police. Ruled out as suicide. Police have claimed that the troubled youth man drowned himself. It is certainly a tragic loss and an unfortunate event indeed. Comments. No claim his body has been made yet. Okay? No claim of his body has been made yet. Lewis. Who? By the corner of Hugo's eye, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the cut letter. He reaches for it. Who is that? Is that the mother? A locket of brilliant gold shines unmendish, returning a timeless luster. Inside a safe guards a picture of a young man with glasses smiling brightly. Huh. This must be a locket for that he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. And the picture. Did he put it here? No, it must have been Henry. But why? Why would he store it away like this? What should I do? Hey, yay! Our first mystery thing. Take the locket. I'm gonna take it. I should probably hold on to this for now. That probably did something huge. Hugo's about to put everything back in his chest, but when he feels a cold sensation crawling up his leg. Ew! Water? A pool of water vehemently spreads across the floor, already seeping into this chest. Dang it, no! What? Suddenly the lights shut off. A scream is heard, followed by murmured shouts. Hugo is about to call out to know it, but he stops in sight pale feet before him. What is this? Looming over him stands a tall, luminous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. I can't see his face, it's all blurry. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it's far from it. No, this thing is trying to imitate a human form, trying to be human. Hugo could only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he is forced to watch the horror as it slowly creeps towards him. Oh my gosh, he's having a standing, paralyzed thing. Ooh, okay, alright. Just like before, the sensation is someone staring at him from within. But this time the drawing is nearer, inching forever so closely. The words, okay, alright. The words can call out to Colby and Noah fail to reach out. Large in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallowly, he tries to force his body to move. Then it stops. Looking around at Hugo, filled with nothing but malence and content, it speaks. What does it say? Oh my gosh, okay. What? I wasn't paying attention. You guys can just pause the video and see what he said. I will just look at that back in the edits. All of a sudden the door in the bedroom slams shut and the entity disappears. The tension from the body finally releases an agonizing grip and he grabs desperately for air. His vision blurred and breathing jagged and stagged towards the door. He yanks the handle several times and slightly jammed. Oh man, okay. Noah, Colby. To his dismay, he is only greeted for silence at the other end of the door. Dang it! From the distance, he faintly hears the sound of Colby restlessly barking as it gets further away from the house. Wait, further away from the house? Hugo reaches towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but it's like the door. A heavy force prevents him from doing so. Oh man. Frequently looking around for the room, he spots a nearby chair. Without a moment sooner, Hugo grabs the chair and starts striking the window. Whoa! Bit by bit, the window cracks and gets larger, and each blow splitting off smaller pieces. What is this made out of? Glass? Metal? Still trying to catch his breath, he mutters all the strength he has left for final blow. Dang it, just break already. Yay, it broke. Yay. Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers at his head out to see any railing he can grab hold of. However, he discovers instead of the wall adjacent is covered in ivy. Despite how heavy the rain he has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of vines. Carefully, he climbs out the window, gripping tightly and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet to his luck, he patch of vines as clutches start to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip of another, but fails when he slips out the wrench. Oh no! He fell. Clamoring wildly, he loses grip on Ivy. He crashes, lands down into the thick bushes. He forced himself up. He heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even with that laborious, an immense pain spreads across not only his back, but his entire body. Man, I'm getting too old for this. Although his body screams out of pain, he forces himself up. There's still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet, he haggard breathing, he makes his way up. He makes his way to the place where it all started. Alright. To the lake where tragedy starts to end. More timer state, 12:01. Alright. Finally entering the park, Hugo calls out to Chloe and Noah. Chloe, Noah, where are you? He hears a faint sound, barking echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through a downpour. With his heart racing and the blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Nana giving a chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far, and Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go, Grandpa. Nina, please, it's dangerous. You'll get hurt. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. What's going on with Grandpa now? It's as if It's at the instant Hugo trudges towards the water, pursuing it in Nina's stead. Hugo? No, don't. Please, wait. Plez falls deaf to his ears. Not even the whines of the word cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he trudges over in nearing deep, and he sees Henry's Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled as if his life has been drained from him, surrendering it to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs him by the arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with us. Motionless and unresponsive, he stares deeply into the water. There's so many things we can't afford to lose our lives, and you're one of them. To Nina, you're all that she's left. She needs you, Mortimer, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it, a slight jolt of Henry's arm, as if he stirred up to mention Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Oh, wow. I don't know why, but tell me why this guy looks like Bruno from that one Disney movie. No one talks about Bruno. However, this is cruel and violent. As the storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold on to him. All of this is my fault. If only I got Louis sooner, then none of this would have happened. What? Henry inches even closer to the edge. Louis, I'm sorry. I should have what? Gone in his stead? Gone with him? You know you wouldn't resolve anything. Not you or Louis. I read what he wrote to you all those years ago. He understood if you didn't want to come see him. But the thing, Mr. Mortimer, Louis never thought anything less of you. The locket, okay, the locket is proof of that. Louis, locket? Yes, he is a symbol of his love for you. That's why. You don't have to shoulder that, oh my gosh, you don't have to shoulder all of that pain yourself anymore. We can talk about this. We can talk about this. About you and Louis. All of it. Together. Yeah! Oh my gosh, you did it! I'm amazing. Hugo extends not all his hand to him, but a promise. A promise that Henry and his had yearned for so long. A way to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. What a fool believes in a deserved forgiveness. Such a thing doesn't exist. And yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him, to a stranger. Maybe he can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo, a hand filters around Henry's instead. Wait, what? No, no, we're doing this ourselves. We don't need your help to. His arm, unnaturally contorted around him, while its head perches on his shoulder. This Louis is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing old green eyes, and it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, wishing nothing but despair. We can be saved. We can be forgiven. There is only one true way out of this. I shall share with you the most happiest endings. No! Before Hugo can reach out for Henry's hands, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing a ghost's cries, he desperate pleas, Hugo drives in for him, into the abyss. 4:30. We don't know where we are. Plunging into the icy waters, Hugo feels a shocking running rampant through his body. Like spikes, consciously piercing from his legs to the tips of his fingers. Piercingly unyielding, his chest tightens, and he is racing as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find a way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper, he finds faintly to figure out slowly, descending into the darkness. What? As he finally gets closer to Henry, a long snake-like arm stretched across the board to grab Hugo's neck, violently squeezing all the air out of him. He tries to desperately wrench his hands away, but with his struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Lewis, where are you, Lewis? It's looking for Lewis. Digging deep into the pocket, he grasped tightly in his hands the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten. Oh my gosh! Yay! I did it! Yay! Wow! What happens if I didn't keep bringing the locket? Holding it out to shine so brightly in the dark. Ah, there you are. I think we would have lost Mr. Mortimer if we didn't have the locket. It realized its grip of Hugo. Instead of reaching out for a locket, it releases the grip instead of reaching out for the locket. Taking this chance, he drops the chain and kicks it with all his might to grab Henry's arm. With this heart burning into the body, screaming, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there. I just have to. As the light from the surface begins to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach out for it. With the limbs torn out and the energy spent, all he can do. Oh no. Before he loses his consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards him, getting closer and closer. And then everything fades to black. A question mark? Drifting along with the feels like an endless sea, Hugo courses through wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for the matter. All he knows is that he's very, very tired. How long has it been since he had a good night's rest? It's been so long. Maybe I should take a rest now. I like that so much. I agree, you deserve it, but not here. What? I'm sorry for stuttering you. I just wanted to see you before I go. Lewis, you have done so much for me, Henry. What? I barely did anything. Thank you. No worries. So you're just casually talking? Okay. From a far distance, a voice cries out to him, beckoning him to come back. Well, I guess this is it. Take care, Hugo. Okay. Lake. Don't know what time it is. Oh, 6 o'clock, I think.
Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, it looks good. Looks good. Oh, it looks good. Looks good. Oh, it looks.
With his eyes closed and sensing towards returning to his feels, the constant tugs of his licks of certain bloodhound, whining and tries to wake up his partner. Hugo. He hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. His eyes shot open with his jerk as he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around him to see, and he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you alright? Noah starts to pat his back while Kobe continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe. So is Nina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Thank goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of thank goodness, I swear you don't even listen to a dang word I say. I'm sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh. He continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively. Then someone approaches him. Detective Laurent. Oh, Nina. There's someone I want to meet you. There's someone that wants to meet you. Hey, he's old again. I'm joking. He's aged, I guess. But behind her stands some elderly man, frail in stature. He steadily looks outside pensively and ponders to himself. Although his both and long faded, his eyes catches Hugo's attention. They are no longer piercing with vicious green. His eyes are just like Nina's. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. Okay. What a weird sound, but okay. I never got the chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Lewis lived on in this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of the constant mindset I dragged. Okay. And I kept hurting not only me but Nina occasionally. I was the only one who kept hurting her, the one who to blame for all of this. But you are someone that I've never met, still went out of his way to save me, not knowing my burnness, or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. But before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hand one last time. I hope that somewhere you two will overcome it. Overcome what? I'm confused. The next day, 8 o'clock. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning? With a much fever and hesitant, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although my closer inspection, he looks like he's going to combust any minute. Are you writing a report? Not looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for most of the part. You still have to write up yours too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast. You and I will both be eating by ourselves. Wait, what? By ourselves. What? Let me guess. 2 is better than 1. Bingo! Wow, Hugo. You're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Ah, shut it, will you? I swear, if I hadn't fallen off of that gosh darn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Before Noah could begin to cut the bacon, he pauses and mentions of Hugo's report. Oh yeah, by the way, mind telling me what happened to Mortimer's window? Right. Anyways, I think I'm gonna end it here. It's a very interesting story, so I'm gonna continue this another time. I don't know how long it is. That's the thing, and pretty sure it's gonna take me like days, weeks. So I'm gonna be back soon. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you later. Goodbye.